Welcome to the Voice of Reason Sports Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the show, leave a comment, and click that like button. Welcome back for another edition of the Voice of Reason Sports Podcast. This is the marvelous one. Back at it again with Dale.
Yo, what up?
Preseason is over. The regular season has started, man. How you
Yes,
feeling?
indeed. Yes, indeed. It's finally here. I mean, I was kind of, good to kind of put your foot in the water a little bit.
Yes,
see
sir.
What kind of football would you suspect a little bit? Yeah, man, I can't wait. I'm excited stuff for football again.
Yes, sir. Me too, man. And I want some real football now, man. I mean,
absolutely.
These games that don't count, but I mean, hey, they serve their purpose, allows you to evaluate some of the young talent out there. I mean, a lot of young talent got a lot of opportunities to play during the preseason. I guess that's just because of the new structure of preseason now. A lot of teams aren't really playing their starters like they used to, right? You remember back in the day, the first preseason game, the starters played the first quarter, and then the second preseason game, they played the first half, as a tune-up for the season. But they're not doing that anymore, right? I guess because of the inner team practices that they got going on where they're working on specific situations.
Well, some people are actually playing that. I mean, Mahomes played, we've seen a lot of Mahomes, there was, Caleb played a lot.
Right, young players have, yeah.
Trey Lance, he played 2 full games.
Yeah, I know, right? His stats were off the charts, right?
He played 2 full games, yo. They said, we're going to see what you got for real. Then 5 interceptions later.
That's what I want to say. He threw 5 interceptions.
5 interceptions, dog. That's not good, Trey. That ain't good, Trey.
But he led in passing yards and he led in rushing yards.
I mean, he better be playing the 4th and 3rd and 4th and 5th stringers too,
Yeah.
Like he did have one impressive 40-yard read option run.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that. But yeah, I mean, come on.
But
that was against dudes that's going to be sitting in a cubicle next to me tomorrow.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Those are not elite athletes.
Nah.
No.
So, not at all.
Yeah. It's all good. I mean, I saw a little bit of Derek Carr. He's going to be our starter.
What you think? I mean, better than last year though.
I think he's going to be about the same.
Better than last year.
I mean, he is what he is, man. I mean, it's the same guy for now 11 seasons. I think it is. Not bad. He's not a bad quarterback. Let me just state that. Not a bad quarterback. I think his superpower, every quarterback, every player has to have a superpower, whether it's accuracy, arm strength, arm talent, quick release, whatever the case may be.
Right.
Lamar Jackson, 4.4 speed, whatever it is, you can outrun everybody. Right. Gotta have a superpower. His superpower is his quick release. That's it. He's got that. And that makes him a starting quarterback in this league. I know there's a lot of talk out there, at least in New Orleans, among Saints fans, with Spencer Rattler. They want him to be the starter. And I'm like, let's pump our brakes here. Let's give the guy some time to develop. I think he's a good project to develop, right?
Well, what Spencer has to his advantage is he has a lot of college experience. He's not one of those quick, play and get out early and
right.
Still got some development to do. He's a mature college player.
Right. He had a moment. I mean, Caleb Williams took the job from him.
Yeah.
He had a moment like that. So, he still has to develop, in my opinion. Even though he's an older player coming into the league, I think he may have had 5 years in college. Maybe that's what it was.
It might have been. He definitely had the 4-4. He definitely played the 4-4.
Yeah, he definitely played 4 because it was some in Oklahoma and then some in South Carolina.
Yeah. I want to say it was 2 in Oklahoma, 2 in South Carolina, or maybe 3 in Oklahoma and 2 in
maybe
South Carolina.
So because I thought he was the backup to was it Kyler? He backed up somebody at Oklahoma before he became the starter.
That would probably have to be Kyler Murray because that's the last one that came out, right?
I think so.
Because he came out before Baker. I mean, he came out after Baker.
Yeah, and then he became the starter, and then he ended up losing the starting job and stuff like that. But I mean, hey, One thing he proved to me is that he belongs in this league. The worst thing you could do is come out there and play poorly against a bunch of guys that's going to be sitting in the cubicle next to you. That's
yeah. I
that's
mean, it is what it is, man.
yeah. He
Like you
proved
said,
it.
he proved that he can at least play, be a serviceable guy so far. I mean,
So
so far we ain't seeing with the live bullets. That's
right,
when it really count, when the live bullets, when people can hit you, knock you out. They ain't gonna be running base defense. They're gonna actually be blitzing, zone blitzing, corner
right,
blitzing.
corner,
You're
right,
gonna see all the different coverage switch ups and stuff like that. Because a lot of defensive coordinators, they don't like to give up their stuff.
right,
Because on defense you don't have but so much you could do. So when you got that one trick, you don't want to show it
right,
because you're not going to have many tricks to use.
right.
So you got to kind of run base. You running base defense, base man to man, not a whole bunch of
All right.
zone.
You're not trying to trick the quarterback too
You ain't trying
much.
to trick the quarterback. You're not
Right,
trying to do a lot of things. You ain't pulling out all the stops because, like I said, you only got so many tricks on defense.
right,
You do all kind of stuff.
right.
You got different alignments, different formations, motion, and all that. You don't got all that on defense.
Yeah, right, exactly. And that's why I think it would be best for him to just sit out, watch Derek Carr. Don't pick up too many bad habits from him, but watch Derek Carr, learn from him throughout the season, and then potentially, compete for the starting job next year. I mean, if he's that talented, it will show. If he's that good, like Patrick Mahomes was and Lamar Jackson was, it will show. And the coaches will put him in there, regardless if it's on a team like Kansas City with Alex Smith. Alex Smith was taking the Chiefs to the playoffs
every year.
Every year.
It was taking them every year.
And people thought it was kind of nuts. Put Patrick Mahomes, the young quarterback, in over Alex Smith. Right. It was like, dude, you got to see him in practice.
But see, that's why I was trying to tell Cowboys fans. Winning quarterbacks, winning coaches, winning systems, organizations, they're not satisfied with just making it to the playoffs.
Right.
If you're not getting there, they're going to get somebody to get them there. And that's what they did. I mean, like you said, he was there. He had the offense moving, whether you want to call him a game manager or whatever, he was managing it good.
Mm-hmm.
They were winning the division every year. They were going to playoffs every year. They looked like they could have made it to the Super Bowl, but they never did.
Right.
Then he went and got him a quarterback,
And Tyreek Hill was there.
Yeah, Tyreek was there. Yeah.
Kelsey was there.
Yep.
Same people.
Now, hold on. Now, it was unpolished Tyreek, though. It was unpolished. Tyreek wasn't Tyreek Hill when he first got to the league.
Whoa. It was still fast Tyreek. It was still cheetah Tyreek.
It wasn't hands Tyreek, and it wasn't jumping up like he do to get the ball. Tyreek.
Maybe not, but it was still get the ball to Tyreek.
Yeah, and he wasn't full-time receiver. He started off like mostly doing kickoff returns.
Yeah, like a slash. They were doing jet sweeps to him and stuff like that too.
Exactly. He was returning punts and stuff.
But we can. But one thing we can agree on: Patrick Mahomes was the difference maker. He took them from here
clearly
to there. It without a doubt. Whatever level Tyreek was at, Patrick took him to the next level. And that's not a shot at Alex Smith. Alex Smith's a good quarterback. He's done some good things.
Until he got to Washington. When he was in Washington, he was done.
Well, he broke his leg.
Right. But he was done before that.
He probably was. But, I mean, when he was with the San Francisco 49ers, he took him to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, he's been successful where he went. You can't doubt that about Alex Smith.
No. But
won.
They had a guy that could take him to the next level, and arm talent was obvious on the practice field. So
from pretty much from day one. I mean, when he played a few games that rookie season, right? And I don't think a lot of people remember that. He actually did play a couple. Yeah, he played a couple games, but he wasn't Patrick Mahomes quite yet. But you could see that it was there. Like I think earlier, maybe like the first game he played, I want to say he threw like it might have been like a 70, 75-yard touchdown pass. It was crazy.
Oh, I do
remember
that's when
that. It was like, look at that arm.
Right.
He threw that joint deep.
I remember that. Yeah, he really stood out.
Yeah.
It was like, it was obvious. It's like, oh no, he should be the starter.
Yeah. Like he'll be playing next year. He'll be playing next year. Well, I think Alex Smith got hurt or something. That's why he was playing.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a surprise if Alex Smith got hurt. He had to play. But yeah, I mean, hey, this could be the year. I mean, you never know. We'll see what happens with the Saints. I know that was a big deal with him. I was really curious to see how the roster was going to shape out. How many tight ends they were going to keep, how many running backs they were going to keep, because we got a lot of injuries and stuff like that. I mean, we know Alvin Kamara is going to be our starter, even though he didn't play much on the preseason.
Yep.
And Williams is going to be the backup, so we know that. It's just a matter of determining who's going to back him up, who's going to be the third and fourth receiver. And I'm really concerned. Like, if we lose Chris Olave or Rashid Shaheed, dude, we are doomed. Like, our receivers
dropped off very, very steep after that.
It's a steep drop off.
Very, very steep.
It is
where
scary.
the guys that y'all used to have, they were like borderline, like
borderline starters.
Yeah, they were kind of like, we can't wait till he develop and be a good receiver. Y'all had a couple of those guys like that.
Yeah, they starting now. Chris Olave.
No, it wasn't Olave. I'm going further back.
Like who?
Man, I can't remember their names, man. But it was like some.
You talking about Lance Moore? You talking about you going that far back?
Well, no, not that far back. Not that far back. Later than Lance Moore.
I'm trying to figure out, because if you're talking about who was backing up Michael Thomas and
back then when Michael Thomas was still playing and he was good. Like, it was those guys that was second string to him.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, I can't think of their names now because I don't even know if they're still in the league.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Saints didn't keep him. Like,
there was a guy, he was like number 10.
Marquise. No, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about oh shoot, I just blinked on his last name.
You say his name, I'm gonna know it. But
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about I know you in number 10. I liked him too, but he was injury prone. He was a good blocking receiver.
But he was sometime, you know what I'm saying? He would show flashes.
Yeah. No, they cut him. I can't think of his name right now. It's on the tip of my tongue. I liked him a lot. I thought he was solid, but yeah, man, it's just that, but you can only keep these guys for so long. And he's gonna start demanding more money as a veteran player, but he can't stay on the field. He was always injured.
He was always injured,
man. So, but now, I mean, like, our third receiver is A.T. Perry, who's a young receiver, could develop, but he's had his moments, especially this preseason, dropped a lot of passes. But he's a big receiver, really good size, 6'5", 205. He has the size that we really need. And then we drafted a receiver out of Pitt, Bud Means, 6'2" receiver. So, we kept him around. I think it's good to keep him a solid receiver like that. And then Cedric Wilson. I want to say that he played for the Cowboys. Didn't Cedric Wilson Jr. play for the Cowboys?
Cedric Wilson played for the Cowboys, and he got that big contract with Miami, which he stole. He got big money to go. Well, back then it was big money to go to Miami, and basically did nothing there.
Well, we got him now.
Okay.
So, and a lot of people feel that the Saints receiving core behind Shaheed and Olave is a big drop off, and if either one of those two go down, there's a lot of concern coming out of New Orleans. I'm concerned about the receivers, but not so much. I mean, receivers are receivers, man. Your top guy or your top guys, and if they're not there, then you suffer. But I'm mostly concerned about the offensive line. I don't care what anybody say. Trevor Penning has struggled since he's come into the league, and he's our right tackle now. And we just drafted a left tackle, and he's our starter. So that scares me. Yeah, immediately.
What round did you draft? That was the first round?
Yeah, it was our first round pick. Yeah, he was our first round pick.
First round tackles, you really ain't got, for the most part, first round tackles have been, I don't say bust proof, but they don't fail that much. They don't fail that often.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I think you're pretty good. If you got a first round tackle, it ain't it's not a sexy pick, but he's probably not gonna fail. He's not gonna be terrible.
I hope not. I'm just concerned with the fact that we're only returning 2 starters from our offensive line.
Right.
The other 3 are young players. One guy I never even heard of, Lucas Patrick, is out of Duke. I hadn't really heard of him, but I assume he's a good tackle. No, he's a guard. So it's just a matter of that offensive line holding up to protect Derek Carr. Derek Carr is going to be our starter. I don't care what anybody says out there. Jake Haener and Spencer Rattler are not starting. Okay, they will fight for the second quarterback 2. Quarterback 1 is Derek Carr. Yep. So, that's what worries me.
Derek, you said Haener?
Yeah, Jake Haener.
Jake Haener.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
so Rattler and Haener. We drafted Haener last year out of Fresno State, and we drafted Rattler this year, and so they were competing for quarterback 2. I thought they were about what and what. I thought Rattler had some moments, but Rattler will play up into the fourth quarter, so he was playing against some guys that probably won't be there. So, I don't want to rush the kid out there. I want him to take his time to get to play. So I would rather go with the second year player Haener as my backup.
Okay. Yep. Okay, that's interesting. On the other front, on the other side of things, did you hear that we finally got CeeDee Lamb in effect?
Oh man, I thought you was gonna tell me about how well Trey Lance played through the preseason.
I
thought that was the big news.
We're gonna get to the magnificent Trey Lance performance. We're gonna get to that. But right now, did you see that CeeDee Lamb got the contract, got the bag?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He deserved it. Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah. What else you gonna say? I mean, he.
Hey man,
he deserves it. I mean, he led the league in what receptions and yards.
Hey man,
last year.
Get the money. Look,
but he didn't go. He didn't go. I mean, he went crazy, but it didn't go super crazy. Like, I don't know why that deal couldn't got done earlier.
Yeah, right. Well, maybe he was holding out for more. Maybe he wanted to be the top paid receiver. Right?
Yeah,
he's second now.
Maybe more signing bonus. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
it's right. 36 million ain't bad.
Right? Hell no.
38 million signing bonus.
Bonus, 100 guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean,
so yeah, I mean, he got what he's supposed to get. Welcome back, CeeDee Lamb. I hope you've been at least working out a little bit, and you wasn't just sitting over there waiting for a hamstring to pull. I just hope that's better. And there's a little bird whispering that we're trying to bring in some running back help. Did you hear about that?
No, I would assume you need it.
Yeah, but they talk about bringing in Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook, really?
Yeah.
I thought his career was. I thought he was pretty much done. What was he last? Was he last?
He was with the Jets. He was with the Jets. They paid him $8 million.
Yeah.
I think he had maybe 70 carries.
Maybe.
And they paid him $8 million for 70. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. They brought him in because this is when Bryce Hall was coming off or Breece Hall was coming off of the ACL tear, and he wasn't gonna be full strength by the beginning of the season. So I'm thinking, okay, well they're gonna run, they're gonna run a lot of Dalvin Cook. They really didn't. I mean, he got some carries, but it really wasn't like that.
No,
not like it wasn't $8 million worth at all.
No, he wasn't a difference maker at all.
Yeah, at all. So he should be relatively fresh. He hasn't played a lot in the last 2 years.
But I mean, really, you got Ezekiel Elliott, unless he still made the team, right? Zeke.
Man, stop it.
They cut him?
Zeke made the team. Stop.
Okay, all right. I'm just making sure.
Zeke made the team.
So you're gonna have Zeke and you're gonna have Dalvin washed up running backs. 2 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, the little guy, and I guess the little guy still made the team too.
They go, who, Deuce Vaughn or
Deuce? The guys they've been talking up for years.
I mean, I don't know. If they bring on Dalvin Cook, then Deuce is gonna get bumped off. They just don't like. I mean, that whole little thing they did was for nothing. That whole little, hey, you want to come work with Dad?
Yeah.
All that stuff. Yeah, come on, man. You did all that, and then you don't even have him active on
right. Sunday. I mean, talked him up.
Yeah, he deactivated, and I ain't gonna lie, he was the most productive running back we had that year when he came in, and he was actually showing some flashes this year too. I think the mostly what happens is he's a pass blocking liability.
He probably is.
You know, I mean, he just says he's missing assignments, and of course he's extra small. So defensive end gets loose. He's not gonna be able to stop him, probably.
No, he's not. But I mean, you can work around it. I mean, the Saints did it with Darren Sproles.
Darren Sproles, yeah.
Yeah. So, you just got to design plays that make it work for him. And we did that. I mean, we used it most as a receiver out of the backfield.
Right.
But I mean, that's just I just think the Cowboys aren't being creative.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not a lot of movement. We're not doing that's what we've been criticized all season for, not doing a whole lot of off-season adjustments. Fans and non-fans saying it, and it's true. We not doing enough. Whatever we did is not enough to say, oh yeah, well we're better than last year. Right now we seem like the exact same as last year, but we're gonna have a tougher schedule. Mm-hmm. You know, that's why I only could give us 10 wins this year. Mm-hmm. You know, that's why I only could give us 10 wins. But
wait, that's what you gave him, 10 wins?
Yeah, I said 10.
That sound pretty low for you.
I mean, it's lower than I have the last few years. That's for sure.
I mean,
I've always had us at least 11 wins.
You pretty cocky. Last 3 years,
I definitely had us at least 11 wins.
I mean,
I had us at 11 wins last year. Well, I wasn't cocky. I was just predicting the truth, which actually happened.
Yeah, we always win 12 games. We own this division. I mean, real sassy.
I mean, did we not do it? We won Division 2 out of the last 3 years. 12 games. I mean, what? I was just telling the truth what's going to happen. And now this year, I don't think we're going to be as we're not going to, for number one, our schedule is tougher than it's been in even the last 4 years. It's the toughest schedule that we had. It is a very, very tough schedule. And with the division seeming like it got better,
yes,
that's what makes it tougher for. It's gonna make it tougher for us to own the division like we normally have.
I think the Commanders are much better.
They are 3 times better than them.
I think so. And now they got a real quarterback. I think they're gonna shock the league. I don't think they'll win a lot of games, but they're gonna be a lot of close games. You know what I mean?
And Washington Commanders fans, I mean, you might want to throw a little dribble on the winning the division. Whoa. I'm just saying.
Whoa. Are we making a bold pick?
I'm not making a bold pick, but
no, it sounds like a bold pick to me. It sounds like a bold prediction.
I'm just putting it in. I'm just putting it in your head.
Own it.
You might want to throw a little something because they are due for that. This is what Washington does every 8 to 10 years.
You're right.
They come through and they win a division when they ain't got no business winning the division.
Right.
No business winning the division. And they come and win. They did it when they drafted RG3.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? No business winning that division.
And didn't they win the division recently at 7 and 10 or 8 and 9? Was it? It was a while ago when I can't remember the last time when the Bucks won the Super Bowl. Was that 2020? What Heineke got him? We were in the playoffs.
I think they made the playoffs, but I don't know if they won the division.
I think they won the division because the game was against the Bucks in Washington. I want to say, Heineke was the quarterback, and they won the division. They somehow won. I have no clue how they won it, but they won the division and make the playoffs.
Well, you know what? That's what good old Google.
Right. If only there was a tool where we could just type in, and like a search engine where it would give us a response and tell us.
It was called. Yeah, it's called Google.
Called
Google. Yeah.
If only.
They won it in 2015.
That was 2015?
2015. Yep. They won it in 9 and 7 too.
9 and 7.
So they won in 2012. They won in 2012 and 2015.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So 9 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Just some kind of way they pulled it off.
But but nobody was expecting them to win. At that time, and they probably shouldn't have, quote unquote, won it then. But they're due. They're due for something weird to happen because we know for the last 20 seasons, NFC East has not had a repeat champion. One thing else y'all want to consider, you bettors, you want to put a little something down. Remember, the NFC East does not repeat champions.
That's true.
It cannot be Dallas. Okay.
So
it could go to Philly again, of course. But Philly is so on paper better this year
yes,
and won the offseason, won the draft.
yes.
They're bound to fail. This is one of those things that's so like when everybody bets on one team, bet on one team to win, and then you go the other way. This feels like one of those times.
You think so?
Just like the night, right?
Man,
Yeah, just
look,
like the night, right?
let's stop lying. Let's
The New
stop
York
fooling
Yankees.
ourselves. The Commanders are now winning this division.
You got to look and see what they got, man. You got to look and see what they got. They got some things. If Jaden Daniels plays like kind of like on a level like Stroud did last year,
Yeah,
they
but
can do some things. They can
Stroud,
really.
but Stroud was in a division with the Jaguars, the Colts who have no quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
and there's one of the team I'm forgetting: Jags, Colts,
The
Texans,
Titans.
Titans, and the Titans have no quarterback. So I mean, this is not to discredit what Stroud did, but there wasn't much competition in the division.
Now remember, they're going with the fourth place schedule too. I mean, was it third or fourth? There was the fourth place schedule.
Yeah, but dude, they're not winning this division.
Dog, I'm telling you, this feels like one of them crazy type years.
I mean, Jalen Hurts must going to get hurt just as well as Dak is going to get hurt.
I mean, the last two seasons, Jalen Hurts was basically one-legged by the end of the season.
I agree, but with Saquon Barkley back there to help him out, I just don't see it.
Well, they just had DeAndre Swift. That was supposed to be the man.
It was. They started out 10-1.
Right, and then ended what?
I forget what it was. What?
Yeah. They didn't win. Didn't win the division.
They didn't win the division. I think they won one out of the last.
Yeah, it was like 1-6 or something like that.
Yeah, so the end of the season like 11-7 or 11-6 or something like that.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, you look at it, you're like, oh, that ain't bad. But when you start out 10-1,
right, it's real bad. It's a monumental failure.
It is.
And you're not to win the division.
They completely fell apart.
Yeah, they did. But it was like that's what I was talking about last year. When Jalen kind of falls off and his knee was bothering him a lot more than he was really leading on to, and it was getting in the news. Because then later on he started wearing a brace.
Right.
No,
you're right.
Never wears a brace. So once he started wearing a brace, I said, okay, yep, the knee is really hurt.
Yeah,
the knee is hurt for real. Because he wouldn't be wearing that brace if he didn't.
And it shows you how much of a difference he makes.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And if you look at all his receivers, as the season went on, like, AJ Brown, all that, their numbers start going down.
Right.
It's going down, further down, now it's Philly and our old offensive coordinator, Moore. I can't remember his first name.
Kellen Moore.
He's their coordinator now.
Oh, in Philly?
Yes.
Oh, so they're gonna be running some dumb plays. Oh. See, you should have told me that when I was making my prediction. I forgot.
I'm saying it's a lot of stuff.
No, I got to change my prediction. You didn't tell me that. I got to change my prediction now.
Look, they are so set up to be the best team in NFC East that it's almost bound to fail.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's just too set up. They re-sign the court. They receiver. They top-notch receiver. They get more receivers because Redskins. Commanders. They trade Dotson to them. Just give them away. In the division. You know what I'm saying? They had a great draft. I mean, it's just so set up for them to be the best team in NFC.
I'll be honest with you. I can't hear nothing you're saying. All you told me was Kellen Moore is the offensive coordinator. I'm still stuck right there. Because I still remember this guy called the play where Zeke was the center. And, it was... Remember that when he called that play?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that still rolls in my head. I was like,
cute.
Yeah, getting too cute. Yeah, and then he goes to Los Angeles with the Chargers. They didn't do that there. So
they had one of their worst years of
yeah. Oh, that changes
offense,
everything.
and I can remember them having it a while.
And Kellen Moore, he got Jalen Hurts who can run. He got Saquon Barkley that can run. That means he's gonna pass it. It'll.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. He is a pass happy coordinator for
He's
sure.
a pass happy coordinator.
He's a very pass happy coordinator.
Saquon Barkley might have a great game, a great run. Next play is going to be a pass. No, Saquon, we're not doing that.
But I bet you one thing they're not gonna get rid of the tush push, guaranteed 2 yards, man. You know they ain't made a rule yet, so
nope, they ain't made a rule yet.
They made all the kickoff rule, and I don't know how that's going to affect things because I only seen one run back since the kickoff rule.
Oh no, it looked like every kickoff is a run back now with the kickoff rule. Everything I've seen has been returned.
I have not seen I'm saying like return for a touchdown.
Oh, return for a touchdown. Oh,
I think I've only seen one the whole preseason.
Oh, I hadn't seen any.
Yeah, just one. And then that guy from that was a punt return. That wasn't a kickoff return.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't think it has been any kickoff returns for touchdown. But no, I just like the fact that they now we're gonna see kickoff returns. I mean, that's been out of the game for so long. And that was a great part of games. Like teams were winning games with special teams. You know what I mean? Where the guy was fumbling on a kickoff or a punt.
Yeah, it's like you can, but see, you got these kickers that all these kickers that can kick it out the back of the end zone.
Right.
So if you kick it out the back of the end zone, I think you get the ball on the 25 automatically on the 25.
I think it's is it even further than that? Isn't it 30?
No, it's further than that if the ball does not reach the target zone or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess that's within the 10-yard line or within the 20.
The
ball has at least reached past the 20, but not in the end zone.
Right.
If it doesn't reach there, it doesn't reach that far, then you got ball goes out to the 35 or the 40.
Yeah, something ridiculous.
Yeah, it's something crazy. But it's just weird seeing these people standing still till the ball gets there.
Yeah.
Now you move. You know?
To me, like, why not just put it back to what a ball I think you said kick off from what, the 30, 35 yard line or whatever it was. I just don't see the difference. I mean, why not just go back to the old rule and just tell people to stand still until the ball gets there?
Right. They don't want the momentum build up for them running down and then crashing into each other. It's just such a soft league now, man. It's just such a ridiculously soft league. They don't want them colliding into each other, and then so now they like 5 yards from each other, so they can't collide. This is so crazy, man.
I don't understand it. You told them not to hit with their heads. They're not doing that. So what's?
But see, right now, with them doing that, you can't lose lane integrity because that's when lane integrity was lost when doing that run down the field.
Right.
So now that you're only 5 yards from the guy in front of you, you can't lose lane integrity because you don't have enough time. To break it, to break the lane integrity. So it's not going to be that many kickoff returns. So if there's a bet for, kick return yardage or would it be a touchdown, you can bet against that. There ain't going to be a lot of them for sure.
Well, but it ain't going to be a lot of touchdowns, but there will be somebody that will stand out. There will be a Devin Hester. There will be, who's the kid that came from Kansas City? They used to call him the joystick. Dante Hall. When they changed the rule, that killed stars like that. You know what I'm saying? Those opportunities left.
Yeah.
But it's good that they bring it back. It's good that we'll get an opportunity to see some game changes. Because, I mean, think back to, Devin Hester was the reason that the Bears went to the Super Bowl that year against the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the Hall of Fame now because of that.
He's Hall of Fame, right? He
as a returner.
As a returner, he was special. He was that special. So at least that's that element of the game.
But I don't think it's going to be as many field goals as kickoff returns as you think.
Why not?
Because people just going to kick it out the back of the end zone. You seen the legs this season, right? This preseason, right?
Yeah.
So the Dallas Cowboys kicker kicked a 66-yarder with 7 yards to spare.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? These kickers got legs now. Like they're punting 70 yards. So I think that they're just going to kick it out the back of the end zone, because there's no advantage to them kicking it in, because now you're giving them a chance. Because see, if you got to kick it you can't kick it past the goal line, then now you're going to give them a chance to return it to the 2025 anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can't run. There's no momentum of the defense running down to get them.
Right.
So I think what I'm thinking is that teams are just going to elect to just kick it out the back of the end zone. If they can. If they got a kicker that can do it, they're going to just kick it out the back of the end zone.
If you got a kicker that can do it. I don't think everybody has a kicker. Not every kicker can do that.
I think most people got kickers that can do that. Because remember last year, there wasn't a whole lot of returns.
No. Yeah, for the past couple of years, there haven't been a lot of returns because of the
rule. Because they've been kicking them out the back of the end zone.
But they were kicking closer. Remember, I think they moved the ball back.
I don't think they were closer.
Oh yeah, I think it was close. Didn't they move the ball back with the new rule? Where they
they moved the line up. So you're kicking the kicker is kicking from the same spot, right? It's just him and the holder. But the line, the people that's running, they're up. They're moving.
They're up.
Yeah, they're up. I think it's 10 yards apiece. So 10 on this side, 10 they're like 5 yards from each other.
Right. So they can't. Like you said, they can't get enough momentum to really crash into each other.
Yeah, man. The new soft NFL is just it's so disgusting. It's so disgusting.
It is what it is, man.
It's like comparing today's NBA to yesteryear NBA.
Right. You could beat them up.
Yeah. So. No more beating up at all.
Well, look, man. The season is upon us. Real football is starting up. I'm gonna say it, and I've said it before. I'm gonna say it again. Look, let's just get rid of preseason altogether. Let's just go to a 20-game season. Just screw this, man. Look,
you can't.
Why?
You can't.
Yeah, you can.
But you need to evaluate the players.
They're doing inner practices.
That's not a truth. You can't even touch the quarterback.
The coaches say they prefer that over the
of course
the preseason.
They do.
They don't even play their starters. Yeah, just go to a 20-game schedule.
Yeah, but the backups and all that, the depth on the roster, you have to evaluate them in a real game situation.
As a fan, you want to evaluate. You feel like you're evaluating the players when they play in the preseason game. But the coach has already made up his mind from the practices.
They made the roster. They made like the superstars we know, right? Of course. But the roster, no, they have not made it up. There's some people. Now remember, there's some people that make the team on the last game of the preseason.
You still thinking of early 2000s when it was a 4-game preseason, and that 4th game it was still evaluating people.
Yeah, now it's the 3rd game. Man, just like the last game. Did you see that the guy with Seattle? The kickoff returner? The little guy. He's a real little guy.
And he made it off that last preseason game.
Yes, because he was returning kicks. He had an exciting kickoff return, one of the few of the preseason. Man. And when he got out there, he was just flying past people, yo. Man, he looks like Austin. Remember that dude, that little small dude, Austin? Trayvon?
Yeah. He just retired.
He's just like him. Might be a little small. He's tiny.
Yeah.
Tiny guy. But he's very, very fast.
Whatever, man. Let's just go to a 20-game season, get this over with, and get to a regular season. But yeah, man, let's start. I got our predictions down here. Listeners out there, if you're tracking us,
you ain't got no changes or nothing.
I'm not gonna make. I might take you up on your offer of putting the Commanders of winning this division. Psych, I'm not doing that. But to our listeners, you hold us accountable. You check in on us. All right, let's wrap this thing up, man. Thanks for joining us again. We do this thing every week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Holla.